So let's dive straight into the debate and ask, is it imposition or is it integration? Should the most spoken language of the country be used as the link across states, across people? We are in 2017, not in the 1880s or in the early 1930s. Or is somebody just deciding to play politics? Politics of language, linguistic politics, identity politics that has worked for the Justice Party, the Dravida Kazhagam, the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, if you talk about history, and perhaps M.K. Stalin believes that history oftentimes does repeat itself, so why not try this? Let's debate it all. Let's debate it with our panelists this evening. Good evening to Seshadri Chari, member of the National Executive of the BJP, Rakesh Sinha, Rahul Ishwar. Well, the DMK was part of the News Hour debate, but they have withdrawn for reasons best known to them. We still welcome them back if they would decide to join us again on the debate. Sumant C. Raman, good evening. C. Rajshekharan joining us via Skype. Mr. Rajshekharan, Anuvab Pal, screenwriter, playwright, novelist, and of course, part-time stand-up comedian, if I might say, Anuvab, joining me here on the Mumbai studio. My first question goes to Mr. Seshadri Chari. So, we've got a lot of arguments and a lot of questions to ask the DMK tonight, but I want to ask the BJP one straightforward question. And this is based on your Information and Broadcasting Minister and the statement that he has made. And Mr. Seshadri Chari, may I ask you this, sir? He says, and I quote him, "The centre is using more and more Hindi in government programs and policies, and we have to make the habit of using the Rashtra Bhasha in our day-to-day life along with the regional languages." You see, there is something which is not factually right here.
Yes.
Do you know what is not factually right, sir?
No, I don't understand. What is not factually right?
Rashtra Bhasha Hindi is an important tool and language for the development of the nation. Sir, what is not factually right is that Hindi is not our Rashtra Bhasha.
Exactly.
So if I have the Union Minister coming out and saying that Hindi is my Rashtra Bhasha and he's saying it,
Hindi is the Raj.
Then there is
No, Hindi is the Raj.
No, sir, he said Rashtra
Hindi
Bhasha.
is the Raj Bhasha.
He said,
and if he has said Rashtra Bhasha, I think if he has said Rashtra Bhasha, he can correct it. What he meant probably was to say it is Raj Bhasha, official language. Hindi and English are the official language, and I think we should go by the spirit of what he said. We should not stick to what the language that he used. I think if he has said Rashtra Bhasha, I think it is okay. Hindi is also referred to as Rashtra Bhasha. Actually,
it is referred to
Rashtra Bhasha Prachar Sabha in Tamil Nadu also.
Yeah, correct. But that's what I'm trying to say.
In Tamil Nadu, there is a Rashtra Bhasha Prachar Sabha, which means teaching Hindi.
This is where this entire
So when you say national language,
it perhaps becoming imposed by default. Because if the Union Minister says, no, we never made it mandatory, we just recommended that parliamentarians should speak Hindi if they can speak Hindi. If they know Hindi, they should make speeches in Hindi. It is a recommendation. But it is the same Union Minister who has not once but twice quoted that Hindi is our Rashtra Bhasha, sir.
Part of what he has said.
Despite the Gujarat High Court observing, and I'm just reading this observation for our viewers, normally in India, majority of the people have accepted Hindi as a national language. So this is a perception. Hindi is the most spoken language, so it is the national language. That's what people believe. A lot of them believe. Many people speak in Hindi and write it in Devanagari script, but there is nothing on record to suggest that any provision has been made or order issued declaring Hindi as a national language of the country. That's the reality, Mr. Chari. Sir, I had to start with this because somewhere, if the non-Hindi speaking regions are feeling a little threatened,
Anand, it is better.
Is there a reason,
to allow? Anand, it is better to allow the guest to put forward his views or her views. I don't have to have a lecture from the anchor so much.
No, sir, I'm not giving you any lecture, sir. I'm asking you.
What the Minister of Information and Broadcasting said in part. Don't misquote him only in part.
No, I'm not,
He also said that the centre has no intentions of imposing Hindi. He has categorically said
yes, he has.
If you want to play his sentences...
No, he has. I'm reading that part out also. I mentioned that. Mr. Chari, I am very fair, sir.
You give the entire
Mr. Chari,
speech.
Mr.
He
Chari,
has
one thing...
categorically said
Mr.
that
Chari,
the central government is not imposing Hindi on any
absolutely.
state for that matter.
And I have the letter.
B, another point I want to make very
I have the letter, Mr. Chari.
What the president has accepted is a report that was submitted to Parliament in 2011.
I agree
under
that
the
too.
chairmanship of P. Chidambaram.
I agree that too, sir. I have the documents to put that out.
That committee has neglected, that committee has rejected a number of other proposals also.
Yes.
So what the central government in 2011 has done is only put forward those recommendations which were unanimously passed by that committee and accepted.
I agree.
That was submitted to the government in 2011 and in 2017
Mr. Chari,
the President of India has accepted it.
With due respect,
Therefore,
sir,
it is
I would just like to make one point.
Modi government which is
I am not selectively
Hindi
quoting facts.
Anybody.
So please do not misunderstand me. I am not selectively quoting facts. I have the 3-page note which is also issued by Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, and I'm going to read that out. And I said it, that he said that it is recommendation, it is recommended and not mandatory in his official communication. That's what he has said. I mentioned that to you too. I think you did not hear it. My issue was, sir, that officially this is the position that the Union Minister has maintained, and we welcome that. What he has said is, I was pained to read in a section of the press today news reports wherein DMK leader Shri M.K. Stalin has been quoted alleging imposition of Hindi by the central government. Shri Stalin was quoted as saying that the Parliamentary Committee on Official Language proposed to make it mandatory for members of Parliament and Union Ministers who know Hindi to use it both in speech and writing. He further alleged an ordinance to this effect has been thereby issued, suggesting that the government is imposing Hindi. I would like to clarify that the Parliamentary Committee on Official Language headed by the then Home Minister Shri P. Chidambaram made a recommendation as follows, and the same was forwarded to the Honorable President of India, and he says, this is what the passage says. This committee suggests that all those occupying high political offices who can speak and read Hindi language may be requested. It's in bold. And I'm showing it.
Absolutely.
Okay. But to give their speeches, statements in Hindi, Honorable President and all members come in this category. And there is a following part where he is saying, this shows that the suggestion of the Parliamentary Committee on Official Language was only recommendatory, not mandatory. It is totally false and mischievous to allege that an ordinance was passed in this regard. This is the government on writing. Sumansi Raman, and to our other panelists and to our viewers, this is the government's position on writing. They are not imposing. They are saying, if you know Hindi, please speak it. That's what they're saying. If you can speak Hindi, you understand Hindi, please use the language more often. But, sir, why I started with this question, why I started with this, Sumansi Raman, is, on the one hand, you have the Union Minister's most welcome rebuttal to M.K. Stalin. And on the other hand, I have this quote, which is from June 20th, 2014. No, beg your pardon. It is thereafter. It is thereafter. Yeah. It is thereafter where he has said, and these are his quotes, and I've got it as part of my research this evening. It says, the centre is using more and more Hindi in government programs and policies, and we have to make it a habit of using the Rashtra Bhasha in our day-to-day life along with the regional languages. Rashtra Bhasha Hindi is an important tool and language for the development of the nation. My point, sir, is that officially you say it is recommended, not mandatory. But in your bolchal and in your communication, you treat Hindi as the national language, even though it is not. So,
Anand, first of all,
so should people, should non-speaking guys be a little worried, or should they say, let's go by the official communique and let's not go by what the Union Minister is saying? Sumansi Raman.
No. First of all, we need to be worried. It's very clear. And I think that Mr. Stalin is articulating a sentiment which is widely felt in the state of Tamil Nadu, perhaps in many other parts of India as well. Look, there are two things. Studies say Hindi is the native language for 26% of people. 45% is the official number given, but if you actually take in dialects like Bhojpuri and Magadhi and Marwari and so on, then that number actually drops to 26%.
Yeah, now, Bhojpuri, Haryanvi, Magadhi, Marwari, Garhwali and scores of others which are also categorized as Hindi speakers, that makes it to 45% of the total landmass, more than 20 plus states that can speak, understand Hindi today. That's the reality in India, sir.
Yeah, so now the issue, now the issue is very simple. Why would you actually make a recommendation that a minister who knows Hindi is recommended to speak in Hindi even if he was speaking in front of an audience that does not know Hindi? Does it make any sense if a minister who is very fluent in Hindi comes to Tamil Nadu?
So this is in Parliament.
In Hindi,
Sumansi Raman, come on, that's what I'm saying. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. You know, Hindi mein kahavat hai, rai ka pahad banana. I hope you understand that. You're making a mountain of a molehill. I'll translate that for you in English.
No, Anand,
that's what is happening.
Anand, you don't
that's
have to
what you're doing.
I understand Hindi very well.
Very good.
The point is not
Dekha, one more example of South Indians who understand Hindi, who speak Hindi too. I don't know why they have reservations about it becoming the third language in the state.
There is no problem with promoting Hindi here. Nobody objects to promoting Hindi. You set up Hindi teaching units in all parts of the state. Nobody is objecting to it.
What are you saying? Nobody is objecting to it.
Sir,
there is a reason why you don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu. Do you know the reason why you don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu? What is the reason why you don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu, Sumant Raman?
Anand,
what is the reason why you don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu?
No. Why did it come about?
Quiz question. Quiz question, sir. Quiz question to the panelists. Can anybody put their hand up and tell me what is the reason why you don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu? Rahul Ishwar, do you want to take that?
I will
Rahul Ishwar, would you want to make a point to Sumansi Raman who says we have no problems with Hindi?
See, there
of course they don't have any problems with Hindi, but it can't be part of the school curriculum, sir. We have a problem if it is part of the school curriculum. That's why we don't have Navodaya schools in Tamil Nadu.
Anand, you left out the most important
part. Let's be realistic about this, Anand. 2 points. One, 1918, March 18. Mahatma Gandhi, almost 99 years ago, requested all of Indians to use Hindi more as a national link language. Let me rephrase, national link language.
Yes.
See, we need to have all the language promoted, and we have a trilingual policy of mother tongue, Hindi and English. And I would, I'm a proud Indian, I'm a proud South Indian and a proud Malayali. I would also request my friends up in North to either learn one of the any other languages, because the trilingual policy, if they can learn Tamil is having such great culture and heritage. What happened in the 60s was the Tamil brothers mistrusted the Indian state in such a way that the language agitation went forward. And right now, see the position of PM Narendra Modi. He is speaking like one of the greatest statesmen we have. He is trying to inspire these kind of models, and he is pointing out the greatness of Hindi. Tarun Vijayji is a great fan of Tiruvalluvar, and he has promoted Tiruvalluvar like no other person in India has.
And he told us that he tolerates living in the same country as us dark South Indians.
Parochial chauvinism. Let us more go for integration and inspiration.
Sir, Sumansi Raman, don't go to dark South Indians.
By the way,
I'll tell you, majority of the North Indians still call everybody south of the Vindhyas as Madrasis. So that's an issue, that's a perception issue, and that is something people like Anuvab Pal sitting right next to me evoke laughter on stage with. But Anuvab Pal, see, you're a Bengali.
Yes.
You're a Bengali. But you also speak Hindi.
Yes.
You also speak English.
Yes.
Now, is this the issue where somebody says, please speak Hindi, and you consider, but if they turn around and say, speak Hindi, and you'll say, Hobena, Cholbena?
That's true. I think there's an old joke about Calcutta, right? No one told us the British left.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that I think knowing more languages, I think somebody just mentioned this, knowing more languages cannot be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're in Parliament, Narasimha Rao, I think at one point spoke 7 languages, right? He knew Latin, he knew. Our Prime Minister goes to America, right, speaks to both houses of Parliament, both houses of Congress in Hindi, and has English wit in his speech, right? Now, knowing more languages can't be a bad thing, right? Like, I think my problem is with any part of India that says this is the only way or the wrong way, you know? Like, why not promote Hindi in Tamil Nadu? Why not allow Tamil politicians to speak in Tamil in Parliament? Why can't we have parliamentarians that know more than one language? You know, why is English, I consider English as an Indian language, right? You are communicating with all of India, right? In the English language. we're communicating amongst each other. It's a language of convenience.
What do we do, Anuvap Pal? We are following the Macaulay Minute of 175 years old that made English the mandatory language across the country. And then we are following the Tamil Diktat in terms of the 1940s struggle for language. In the 1960s, Lal Bahadur Shastri was forced to make sure that the Official Languages Act had India as a bilingual state, Hindi and Tamil, because of the pride of the Dravidian people. So that's the reality today, that we are not linked by one language across the country because everybody had an issue with the other language.
But
they didn't have an issue with the colonial imprint left behind, that is English, in which we are communicating today, because they thought, oh, it's elite. So let's all talk in English.
But I'd consider
but Hindi, which is Sanskrit, which is our tradition, like Tamil,
complex history.
the core languages, they had an issue because the Dravidians took offense to Sanskrit because Hindi is an offshoot of Sanskrit, but they forgot that Hindi is also an amalgamation of all the other languages of this country.
But would you consider...
But we are in 2017 today. We are in 2017. Anuvap Pal does stand-up comedy and does pro shows. He was telling me before the news hour that people in Tamil Nadu understand Hindi. Sumansi Raman just now said, I know what Rai ka Pahad Banana is. See, Rajashekaran laughed. Everybody speaks these languages.
No, Anand, I didn't understand
resistance is that you're making, but they're not making it mandatory. Why can't you voluntarily embrace it,
Our
Rajashekaran?
problem is don't make it mandatory.
Who is making it mandatory?
We don't have a problem.
Who is making it mandatory,
you are
sir?
making it mandatory.
Sir,
the government is saying all CBSE schools still
then you should also say don't make English mandatory. You should also say don't make mathematics mandatory.
Why not you leave
You
it
should
to the
also
people?
say don't make
Why
physics
not you leave it?
mandatory.
No, I'm sorry,
You should
it's not
also
the
say
same
don't
thing.
make
It's
geography
not the same
mandatory.
thing. No.
You just have a problem with one language.
Mathematics.
That's the reality, sir. Because you're conditioned to think the rest which are already mandatory are okay. But something which is new, you will resist the change. You will resist to embrace something which can only help you grow more, help you integrate more. Rajashekaran.
So who said Hindi will help you grow more?
Let's not.
What evidence have you produced?
You can't corner the debate. One second. Let me bring in our other panelists also. Rajashekaran, he's on Skype. Yes. Yes, Rajashekaran.
Say, Anand, we have no problem in introducing new languages. Of course, Hindi is a very important language to
So kind
learn,
of you, sir. You don't have problems at all. Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you. What is the problem happening in the state of Tamil Nadu is, see, I have nothing against BJP, as Mr. Seshadri Chari was preaching how Hindi Rashtra, Hindi Rashtra Bhasha. I'm not making such kind of statements because I have no locus standi. But the fact of the matter is, you should do something in a very, very positive, subtle manner. You cannot bulldoze Tamil Nadu and Tamilians.
What do you mean? Where is the bulldozing? Okay, Rajashekaran.
Rajashekaran,
you are a lawyer, so you go through every piece of communication with a fine-tooth comb. Okay. Nobody can speak the most complex language is legalese. This is not even legalese. This is straightforward communication which says it is recommended, not mandatory. It is saying education, Hindi language in CBSEs. Now you have a problem with CBSE schools. Now see, my problem is, sir, people miscommunicate, people misinform. Let me tell you, you know what the communication about CBSE schools is? You know what the...
See, the problem is, Tarun Vijay says, we are also living
now you got Tarun Vijay was not talking about Hindi. I'm talking about Hindi. I'm talking about Hindi. There is nothing fair and dark in Devanagari, sir, or the Brahmi script. Both are written with an ink pen and they all look the same color with the ink that you write. If you write it with chalk, it will look white. If you write it with pen, it will look blue. Depending upon the ink. Sir, I'm talking about script. I'm talking about languages to communicate. Sir, tomorrow, if I come to Tamil Nadu and I speak to you in Tamil, you'll feel happy. The same way, you come to Delhi, you land and you look at the person and you say, Namaste, kaise ho aap? They will feel happy. You will connect immediately. Language is to connect. It's to communicate better. I don't know. Why should you have a problem with that? Rakesh Sinha.
We have no problem in doing all that.
Exempt from the official languages rules. Are you aware, Anand, that Tamil Nadu has got an official exemption from the official languages rules?
You are the only state, sir.
Anand.
Sir, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry are the only ones who are standing up. You are standing apart. Who are standing apart. So you are not integrating, but you are separating. You are on the basis of one language. Rakesh Sinha. बोलचाल में हिंदी चलती है, नॉर्थ इंडियंस के लिए सर ये देखिए, आई एम जस्ट कमिंग, लुक एट दिस कम्युनिकेशन सर, दिस इज 2000 एंड लुक, एक सेकंड दीजिए मुझे, 2012 इलेक्शंस, ओके, डीएमके का कम्युनिकेशन है सर हिंदी में, 2012 के चुनाव में डीएमके का कम्युनिकेशन है हिंदी में। ये लीजिए 2014 के चुनाव है, अप्रैल में, कम्युनिकेशन है हिंदी में। फोटोज किसके हैं? करुणानिधि के हैं, फिर स्टालिन के हैं, उधर दयानिधि मरन का कैंपेन है, सब देवनागरी में लिखा है, सब हिंदी में नहीं लिखा है, इंग्लिश में नहीं, सॉरी इंग्लिश या तमिल में नहीं लिखा है, हिंदी में लिखा है।
चेन्नई में
सुब्रमण्यम भारती एरिया, सुब्रमण्यम भारती हियर, ओके। तो जब इनको प्रचार करना है तब हिंदी का प्रयोग करेंगे, प्रचार करना है हिंदी का प्रयोग करेंगे, पॉलिटिक्स करना है तो हिंदी का त्याग करेंगे।
Anand, I just have one thing to add.
Yeah.
You know, I think...
Sorry, yeah, I'll go to Rakesh after Anubhav. Rakesh ji, 30 seconds to Anubhav Pal, please. He just wanted to intervene.
So it seems like language and identity are very closely linked, right? So I think people, what they are hearing when they say that Hindi should be imposed, they feel like somehow their identity is being reduced. Whereas I think your larger point, which I think people are not understanding, is that knowing more languages cannot be a bad thing. Right? If a person can give a speech in 3 languages in parliament, that cannot be a bad thing. You should welcome more languages than stop languages across India.
Absolutely. In India, we have more than 84,000 dialects, sir. We have got more than 20 official languages. 20 languages. Many people don't even know 4. And one of them is the sediment of colonialism.
Right. But English is also now an Indian language also, Anand,
but
right?
Say, you would want to think of English as an Indian language, but if you can think about English as an Indian language, so is Tamil,
exactly.
so is Marathi, so is Hindi, exactly. And they are far more Indian languages than English itself is.
Exactly.
Rakesh Sinha.
Yes. Look, here Stalin is just in quest for his lost political base, and he's trying the old method which can't be now applied. You have rightly pointed out that his party had issued an advertisement in Hindi. Anand, we are living in the post-language era where the linguistic fundamentalism has no place. I am giving 2 examples. There is a Professor Ravindra Kumar Seth. He translated Thiruvalluvar's entire writing. He translated Nalvar. There are 4 poets, Tirugyan Samandar, Appar, and Sundar Murti, and Manik Vaskar. He translated entire volumes of these poets. At the same time, there are Dr. Shankar Naidu in Tamil Nadu. He has translated from Hindi to Tamil. So there is no question of dichotomy between Tamil and Hindi. Second most important thing is that Tamil is one of 5 languages. Professor Kapil Kapoor committee was formed by this government, although the report has been submitted but not made public. In that report, Kapoor says that there are 5 languages which are carrier of tradition of knowledge. Which are these languages? Prakrit, Pali, we are not discussing them. But they are a very important language. Sanskrit, Tamil,
yes.
And Agastha. Nobody knows what language Agastha is, how many people speak. But these 5 languages carry our knowledge tradition. So Tamil, nobody can devalue Tamil, nobody can demean Tamil. Tamil is an important language, one of the most ancient language of India. It is not merely a language of communication. It is a carrier of our culture. Sir, it is a carrier of our civilizational trajectory.
Not just that.
So the question of not it is a political stunt.
Let me tell you one thing about Tamil, sir. Across India, one of the original languages which was spoken in the erstwhile Bharata, or even Jambudvipa, from that time, you talk about Pali, you talk about Prakrit, you talk about Sanskrit, and you talk about Tamil. Tamil is one of the only original languages of this land which still thrives, which is still there. So there is no question about the identity of Tamil or the language of Tamil, like you said, Mr. Rakesh Sinha. But the problem is that these politicians have said no other language can come.
No,
they've made an exception to English.
No.
Wait, Sumant Raman. Wait, Sumant. Let Rakesh Sinha speak. Let Rakesh Sinha speak.
Anand, give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. Anand, if mother tongues are facing any challenge, that challenge is from English, not from Hindi. You go to Marathi school, you go to the Tamil school, people are learning English, not their mother tongue. So there should be a choice system. Mother tongue and Hindi should be developed as a lingua franca. Why do I say so? In 1960s, only 60% people have intelligibility with Hindi. Now there are 80%. So there is no question of dispute between Hindi and Tamil. We should, in long term, develop Hindi as a lingua franca, as a de facto lingua franca of the country. It is not the question of devaluing Tamil. It is not the question of devaluing the Malayalam. It is not the question of devaluing Assami or Bangla. Our national anthem is in Bangla and Sanskrit mixed. Nobody questions that. Why Bangla should be a mother tongue, our national song. So the question is that here it is a political stunt of Stalin. He is a confused person. He could not articulate.
Sir, he is not confused. He is just going back to a formula that worked for the founding fathers of the DMK. Sir, he is just going back. Sumansi Raman, as I come back to you, the reality is Mr. Stalin is going back to the tried and tested policy, and we'll just put out the history. The history of the DMK, it started with the Justice Party with Mr. Periyar in the 1930s and the early 1940s.
Anand,
then you had the Dravidar Karagam, and you have Annadurai following that same strategy of language. And then in the 60s, as Mr. Karunanidhi came to the fore, that was around the time when the language movement and the resistance happened. It was practiced even in 1985 when Rajiv Gandhi thought about the Navodaya schools, and it is not there only in Tamil Nadu because Karunanidhi, who was in opposition, he used this to try and create strife, and they said, okay, all over India except Tamil Nadu. So you again separated yourself. Again in 2014, 2016, when Modi Sarkar came, they said, let's try and speak more in Hindi because it is our own language. Language belongs to this country. If you can speak it, flaunt your knowledge about the language. They said, oh, how can you say that about Hindi? He said that about every language. He said, everybody speak your native language. Speak your mother tongue and also speak Hindi.
Anand, I think there's a major difference in the perception of how Hindi is perceived here. I think in Tamil Nadu, there is actually a crisis of getting people to speak in Tamil. Every parent wants his child to be educated in an English medium school, not in a Tamil medium school. So even getting them to learn Tamil is becoming a challenge.
That I said that Tamil is facing challenge from English, not from Hindi.
No. Yeah, 1 minute. The problem is...
Not only Tamil, sir, all Indian languages are facing challenge from this colonial English language. English may be important, but we have to safeguard our own languages, Indian languages.
1 minute. Hindi... No, 1 minute. Hindi is viewed as an invasion on our culture. It is not a question of a language alone. We have no problem with the government.
How can be, sir?
Hindi.
How can
we have
it be?
A problem is with imposing
the Tamil literature is being translated in Hindi and Rakesh.
Do we see this? Do we see what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Do we see what's happening? For us, one second. Hang on, calm down.
And all the poetesses are being translated.
Calm down, Rakesh. Calm down, Rakesh. I'm bringing back Sheshadri Chari and Anupal. Sheshadri Chari, sir, as we listen to this debate, do we see what's happening when they say English, which is a colonial virasat, if I can use that word, leftovers of the Raj, the language that most of us speak as one common lingua franca across our country, Mr. Chari. Sir, the mindset is if you speak English, you are evolved, you are educated. The elitist mindset. If you speak well in your native language or your mother tongue, then you are not evolved, you are not educated, you are not learned. If you speak Hindi, if you speak Tamil, if you speak Marathi, you speak Bengali well, you speak Gujarati well, you speak Punjabi well, the pride in your local language or in your mother tongue is not there. The pride is about speaking in English. And today, if you have a government which says, let English become your third language, let your mother tongue become your first language, let Hindi become your second language, why is this trouble to accept this, sir? Are we not proud of the languages that we speak in our own country?
Anand, I just want to add one thing. I think a gentleman said that English language...
I think every Indian...
Sorry, go ahead.
Every Indian is proud. Every Indian is proud of all the languages that are spoken in this country. And, the most ideal thing would have been to accept one language that links all the Indian languages, and that one language is actually Sanskrit. I'll tell you, Anand, I did not want to mention it myself, but let me tell you, being a Tamilian myself, my mother tongue is Tamil. My mother tongue is Tamil, but I can read, write and speak 8 languages of this country, including Nepali, which is also accepted as a language of India, because our rupee note contains Nepali also. So I can read, write and speak 8 languages, and that is only because I have learnt Sanskrit. Sanskrit is actually the link language of our country, and Sanskrit and Tamil are 2 very old languages, very ancient languages, and there are a lot of commonalities between these 2 languages actually. So I am sure Mr. Rajashekaran will also agree, his own name Rajashekaran has a Sanskrit origin, although it is purely a Dravidian or a Tamilian name. So most importantly, all Indians agree that the most basic tenet of all Indian languages is to unite people. Of course, there are factors that if a Tamilian goes to Delhi, as you very rightly said, and say, "Aap kya karte hain? Aap kaise ho?" So Delhiite feels better. Similarly, the same thing applies to the people from north who go to south, say Kerala or Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka. They should learn that all these 4 states put together is not Madrasi. They are different. Their languages are different. But there is a commonality between all these languages, and Sanskrit is the language which can link all these languages. But unfortunately, we did not lay any stress on Sanskrit because of various reasons. I think till the time that we are able to evolve a national language, a link language, English will continue to be the link language, because English is also seen as the language of opportunities. If you know English, that opens up a number of opportunities.
But that's the unfortunate part, Mr. Chari.
Sir, job opportunity.
Mr. Chari,
I believe, sir, the depth and the width of the languages that are spoken in our country are far greater than the language that everybody aspires to speak. The language in which we are doing the broadcast today, and I'm being very open about it. I believe that Tamil as a language is so much more wider and deeper, because it is like Chinese, because it dwells on phonetics, and it's in the Brahmi script. It is the language of the old which is still spoken in the modern ages. And you have other languages like Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Marathi, Punjabi. The depth of those languages, they have all evolved from Sanskrit. So 2 core languages which are spoken by 2 of the biggest civilizations of this country are at loggerheads today because of some political gains, because you think you can spur the, Tamil sentiment saying, how can they ask us to speak in Hindi? Hello, nobody is asking, nobody is forcing you to do it.
Just one
second. Yeah, Anubhav.
Anand,
coming to you, Mr. Rajashekaran.
I think
after this, one sec. Yeah.
Anand, just one point. Just quick issues. Anand. I won't take much time.
So 2 quick issues.
Anand, just one point.
Okay. Anubhav, just allow Mr. Chari to make his point, and then I'll bring you in. Yeah.
Besides Sanskrit, besides Tamil, Anand, besides Tamil, there is only one more language in the world which is very ancient but which is also used in the modern times, is Farsi.
Yes.
And incidentally, there are a number of words from Farsi to Tamil and Tamil to Farsi also. I will not go into those details, but Farsi and Tamil are by far the oldest languages.
Sir, you will have another agitation by the DMK because you made that comparison.
Of these 2 languages.
Beware, Mr. Chari, you will have another agitation even before they hear you out. They will agitate. How can you compare Tamil with Farsi? But on a lighter note.
I'm not worried about that.
Just 2 quick points.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
2 quick points.
Because Stalin's father, Karunanidhi, also is a Sanskrit name.
Yes. Lovely. Just 2 quick points. Just wanted to mention that someone mentioned that someone on the panel said the problem is English versus... I don't think we should pick or choose which language the public are choosing. Somebody said public want their children to go to English language schools. Let the public choose if that's what they want. If they want that to be the link language, let that be the link language. The problem is when one language entering another part of India is seen as an invasion of some sort.
Yeah.
The moment they're saying something about our identity is lost when another language is thing. If a State Bank of India can spread itself from Aizawl to Kerala, and that's not an invasion, why is language an invasion? Isn't that a great thing about our republic, that we know all these languages?
That's what Rajashekaran said. They should do it softly. They should do it subtly. So they should do it via music. They should do it via comedy, by theatre, play, movies, and slowly bring it into their lifestyle in such a way that even in reality shows, where the singers come and sing Hindi numbers and win accolades from stars. But that is all right. But a government, the Modi government comes out and says, if you know Hindi, please speak it. That's an intrusion, that's an invasion. Rajshekaran, isn't this hypocritical?
That's like saying Bollywood can't enjoy the movies of Tamil director Shankar, right?
Let me take my point. Anand, you have asked me.
Yes.
See, first, the government should come openly to the people and say we are going to introduce Sanskrit. We are going to introduce Hindi. We are going to introduce this language. Because Mr. Seshadri Chari is very candid in admitting that Sanskrit is also a good language to learn. Okay, fine. But don't beat around the bush and say we are going to do this. Don't go and paint the milestones by saying you remove all the language and paint Hindi. All this.
The milestones are in 3 languages. Right now the milestones you are insisting should be in 2 languages. If I give a 3rd language option, it is only going to help somebody who knows the 3rd language.
But it should be...
Yeah, Mr. Rajshekaran, come on. Nobody is saying we are going to take Tamil out of the milestones. No, it's never going to happen, sir. In Tamil Nadu, there will always be Tamil.
You have to learn Hindi.
Sir, in Tamil Nadu, there will always be Tamil, but we are saying you put Tamil first, you also put Hindi, and then you also put English. That's what is being said. But you are arguing for arguing's sake right now. Rahul Ishwar, do you believe that the politics here has been caught out? I'll tell you what.
Just 2 quick points.
The politics here has been caught out this time around.
See, politics is the issue here. Please remember. Absolutely. And one more thing, please remember, September 1949, the greatest Dalit icon of India, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, was in favor of using Sanskrit as the national language. Because as Seshadri Chari rightly pointed out, Sanskrit is the deeper link language. The ancient Proto-Indo-European and Dravidian are 2 hands of the Indian body. But unnecessary language chauvinism shouldn't be there. I am proud of my Tamil heritage. I am from Dravida Desha. I am proud of the Tamil culture we have. But having said that, some people are using this to the extreme so that they can score political brownie points. And please remember, the modern Tamil generation is changing.
Yeah.
All the great Tamil pride movies are also having many Hindi words. It's a conscious attempt by the Tamil youngsters, Tamil movie superstars like Vijay or Surya to have a better integration by language, by culture, by Tamil, by Hindi, by Sanskrit. We integrate more into the national mainstream, and that's the way forward.
That's exactly my point, sir. My point is that you are using a language and using this differentiation between Tamil and Hindi, creating the psychosis just to play your own political game, and in that meantime, by doing that, you are separating yourself. This separatist act is wrong. This separatist act is wrong. This is not protecting anybody's identity, because Tamil is not going to get diluted. Tamil is not going to go anywhere. In fact, Tamil will only prosper if more people are allowed to understand the depth of this language. But Sumant Raman, you're saying something. The problem is that unless there is an exchange, there will never be growth. It's got to be a two-way street. It can't be one-way traffic.
1 minute. Give people the opportunity to learn different languages, including Hindi. No problem. Let them decide. You don't give a diktat compelling people to learn
Who's given the diktat?
Recommended.
Give them
Where
the
is the
opportunity.
diktat?
You
That's my problem. Sir, my problem is there is no diktat. My problem with Mr. Stalin's comment is, sir, he is misleading. There is no diktat. Hear me out.
There is.
Which diktat?
What do you mean?
Which
you are
diktat?
saying that it will be compulsory, but you please discuss with the state
Which
government.
diktat? Where is it compulsory?
It will be compulsory in the first place.
Where is it compulsory?
CBSE schools, it is compulsory.
Now, let me read out the order. I knew you were going to say CBSE. Suman Raman, hear me out. Now, you hear me out now. You've made the point. Shall I make the clarification to our viewers why they are being misled? Hear me out. Please hear me out. Now, this is what is being said.
I know what is said.
As far as CBSE, what they have said, the Ministry of Human Resource Development should make serious efforts to make, hear me out, Sumant, please, to make Hindi language compulsory in curriculum. As a first step, let me read it out. Let me read out the passage and what is being said thereafter, even from the CBSE, please. As a first step, Hindi should be made a compulsory subject up to 10th standard in all schools of CBSE and Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. This recommendation is accepted in principle. Union government should form a policy in consultation with the state governments. That is inherent. That is part of it. Now, wait. Hear me. Further.
You know that many.
Further here.
Why do you go and hold it?
That's the problem. You don't even. Please, Sumant Raman, I think you're more. you're more patient and you listen more than Mr. Stalin does. So please, and you don't have to, you don't have a political agenda, so you don't need to selectively interpret. So please hear this. Also, what is the need for such a reaction when the chairman of CBSE has clearly said there is no change in the language policy of the board. The board has asked for the report to study it. So where is this? So why is Stalin going as far as even threatening third generation and the anti-Hindi imposition protest? Now, please, after 20th of April 2017, 20th of April 2017, the board, what HRD Minister, HR 23rd of April 2017, HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar categorically saying this in 2016, but we are not going to impose any language on schools. The 3-language formula is currently being implemented across the country except in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. We are not changing that. He has said this in December. Now, what is the board following? Board follows a 3-language formula till class 8 and 2-language formula till class 10 with English and as the mandatory language. In classes 9, 10, students of CBSE schools either opt for a foreign language or Hindi or Sanskrit along with mandatory English. This is what is being followed even now. The only thing is the proposal has been accepted in principle, consultation with state governments. My point, sir, is Tamil Nadu should not be left out. Tamil Nadu should also be one of the states where 3-language formula is being followed. 3-language formula should be followed, sir.
If the people of
Tamil
Nadu
say no,
believe that
it is not the people of Tamil Nadu who are saying no. It is the politicians of Tamil Nadu who are trying to say we will not allow 3 languages in the state. Why are they doing it? They are doing the people of Tamil Nadu an injustice. They are doing the people of Tamil Nadu severe injustice by saying we will not allow a third language.
Nobody is doing that.
That is the reality, sir. That is why Mr. Stalin is wrong. You yourself said, let the people choose. Give the people the freedom to choose. You're not giving them the freedom to choose.
Let the people, exactly. You are not giving them freedom. You are not giving them freedom.
Not me, sir.
You are ramming it down the throat.
No, not at all.
Give people the freedom to choose is exactly my point.
If that's your point, then you should tell Mr. Stalin, you should tell Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy tomorrow itself say that there will be multiple languages offered in schools, in curriculum. It will not be a 2-language formula which will be followed in Tamil Nadu. That is Tamil and English. They will say other languages will also be followed.
Problem is mandating.
Why?
Mandating.
Where there is no mandating.
Is making it mandatory.
Sir, the only mandating is that has been done by the government of Tamil Nadu to the state of Tamil Nadu. That's the only mandating that has been done. That is the only mandating that has been done because that is why Mr. Javadekar has said, no sir, Mr. Javadekar says the 3-language formula is currently being implemented across the country except in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Why this exception? This is wrong, sir. This exception is wrong, Sumansi Raman. So you don't turn around and talk about imposition and mandatory aspects to the center. Please go and tell the state government they are the ones who have imposed on the people of Tamil Nadu. They are the ones who have imposed and mandated on the people of Tamil Nadu. They are the ones who have done it. And on that note, I'm going to wind up this debate. I'm going to wind up this debate on the fact that you yourself have said that the people of Tamil Nadu, the imposition is by the people, the politicians of the state. The politicians of the state are the ones who have mandated that you can't learn or learn in more than 2 languages, that is English and Tamil. That is the injustice done to the people of Tamil Nadu because they have not been exposed to other languages and the glory, and then they will value Tamil more. That's what I'm trying to say. On that note, I'm going to wind up. Thank you very much.